Hey guys, I'm Anna from Little Wolf Reads, and I just got off work from like working all weekend, so if I'm a little out of it, that's why. But anyways, today I'm going to be doing a very special video on how I annotated The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I would do one on The Wicked King as well. I started my reread and I never finished it, and so The Cruel Prince is the only one that I did, and like I just love it so much. Like, look at my tabs. Anyways, I just want to do this because when I first read The Cruel Prince, like I was looking for like what people use to annotate that book specifically, but I couldn't find one. I'm losing my voice, so I decided to do a video for those people who want to annotate a book for the first time but they don't know what to look for, or maybe you're annotating, or maybe you're not reading this book for the first time but you still want to know like what other people tabbed. And so I'm just gonna tell you guys what I tabbed, and like specifically like I'm just gonna go through like my tabbing thingy, whatever. I do have a video on how I annotate. I have two videos actually. I have one on how I annotate and one on tips for people who want to annotate, like people who want to annotate better or people who want to annotate for the first time. It's more specifically for people who want to annotate for the first time, but if you want to annotate better, I suggest checking the video out. Yeah, so I love annotating. It's my favorite thing to do. I love tabbing. I love writing my books. I love highlighting. I love it all. I love drawing my books. Like, I love everything. And I personally like to annotate because I like to make a book special to me. Like, I mostly annotate books that I love, and I only annotate books that I read for the second time. I don't do first reads just because I don't want to come across a character that I'm like slowly loving and then like I don't have any tabs for them, because I like to tab specific characters that I like. So for this book I tabbed Carden scenes, and in the first, like, I didn't know I was gonna love Carden, so I didn't want to tab him, and then I ended up hating him, and it was like a waste of my time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's usually why. Or like I don't want to tab something for the first time and I'm like, I'm messing up. I'll like annotate as I go along, and like I'll write in the book or whatever, and I'll highlight and I'll come up with a system for that. But like for tabbing, I usually won't tab. But yeah, so I'm just gonna show you guys what I did and all that good stuff. Usually I like to keep my tabs on the inside of my book, and I also like to keep a little note card as well. I just like it in here just because like when I reread the book like years from now, I want to know like what each system read, because when I annotated So I Was in Love Before for the first time, I did not put which each thing meant, and then like when I was going back to like in my reread, I was very confused. And so I just like to stick the tabs in here. For example, I just really like to do that. I don't know, I really like it, and it's like a little rainbow. It's so cute. Anyways, that's besides the point. Yeah, and I also like to keep a little note card that I write on, so while I'm like annotating the book myself, I can remember like which each thing is without having to flip back and forth, because I don't annotate the same for every single book, and that's just me. Like, I know a lot of people do, but I personally don't. I have like the same like core ones, like pink is always love, orange is always relatable, yellow is always regular quotes, and green is always funny. Sometimes green and orange switch, but yeah. And then like for these three, like sometimes I have blue as like my favorite male character, or it just honestly just depends. So I don't keep the same tabby system for every single book, so that's why I like to keep this here, and that's why I like to keep a little note card for myself to just help me memorize like how I like to tab. And then so for this book, I have pink for love, orange for relatable, yellow for quotes, green for favorite part, blue for Carden, dark purple for shook, and a light purple for annoyed. But if I'm being honest with you guys, I didn't really use light purple. I found that using like emotions in my book when I annotate don't really do anything for me. Like, it was really hard for me to even get the dark purples that I did have for the shook, just because I don't know, like I just typically don't annotate for emotions. Like, I don't annotate for things that like make me sad or things that make me happy, just because I'm not really looking for those kind of things. Like, usually, like, you know, like I like to be very specific when I annotate, and that's just me. Like, if you like to annotate your emotions, like, that is great. I love that, but personally for me it just doesn't work. Maybe it's because I barely have any emotions as it is. Maybe that's the case. But yeah, so I'm just going to give you guys an example of each one, just so you guys will, I don't know, I think it'll help. Okay, so for pink, down here. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, my when I consider things as like love or cute, it's very interesting. Like there's this one scene where Jude has her knife to Carter's neck, and I annotated that as cute. Like, you know, like banter. Usually for me, like I have banter and like things like that is like cute. This quote says, "So you've just decided, I don't think it worked like that. I thought love was supposed to happen when you least expect it, like a sap to the skull." Okay, so for orange, I barely have any orange here, but I'm pretty sure it's Jude. She says, "I do not understand why he likes me, but it is exciting to be liked." For yellow, which is quotes, and it says, "But I will make them regret crossing me." And then for green, I have this scene where I didn't highlight anything, but I have a scene where Jude finds her name written on this note inside of the Alice in Wonderland book. And then for Carden, which Carden is not, almost every time Carden appears in this book, I have it highlighted. Like I would just annotate like the weirdest things. Like this is a quote for Carden, which is Jude talking about Carden, and she says, "This is how they are. Someone gets in Carden's way, and they're instantly and brutally punished." And then for Shook, I don't really have anything like particular that I like that I quoted. It was just like, I think they're probably spoiler scenes, so I'll leave that one like open-ended. And then for Annoyed, which I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, it was probably every time Terrence said something. Terrence says, "Only idiots aren't scared of things that are scary." And of course, like I said, Terrence said it, and I just thought it was dumb because it doesn't make any sense. If I don't find it scary, then it's not scary. I also do have a part in this book underlined, so I do have like information underlined because I didn't realize like this book doesn't do a lot of world building, but it does have world building, and I completely forgot that, and I didn't have an extra tab, so I just underlined like in black pen anything that had to do with like world building and information. And yeah, I just love this book so much. I have the map colored, and I even have this page colored, and then I even start to color the title pages until I realized that they all were the same. So I probably got like 3 chapters in until I realized they all were the same headers, and that was pointless. That is a video on how I annotated the Quill Prints. Like guys, look at how perfect my tabs are. Like look, okay, the book is like straightforward. You can't even tell that I tabbed it. Like we love that. Like y'all know I be on people's heads whenever they tab too far. Personally, I don't like to tab. My tabs just look so nice. So personally for me, I don't like to tab anywhere like beyond the hardcover. Like I kind of like my tabs to be the same height as my hardcover. So I literally am that person who will put a tab on there, close the book, and measure it to make sure it matches along with my other tabs, and also it's not too far from the book. Like it takes a long time, but it comes out perfect, so it's honestly worth it. Like it looks so good. Like I love it. That is it for this video. I hope that you liked it. If you want to see me do any other books, like please let me know. I'm planning on doing the Honeymooners next because that is my most recent. I also kind of do want to do 2 other books I loved before, but I don't really know if anybody like cares about that one. I do want to do other books, so I want to do Nevernight, even though I've never read Nevernight, which means I'm gonna have to read it eventually so I can tell you guys what I tabbed for it. And I just want to, I can't wait to like continue this series and keep it going, and just to show you guys how I tab specific books, because I do have a different tabbing system for each book that I read, and that's just personally for me. Yeah, I hope that you like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to join the cult, aka the Wolf Pack, and you'll be seeing me in your YouTube feed soon.